does with me. I believe that He has an individual plan for each of us and for the course of our lives. If we follow His guidance, we will end up at the right place at the right time. Before you listen any further, let me challenge you to ask yourself an important question. Will you simply let yourself get old, or will you age gracefully, purposefully, and wisely, allowing God to use you in every season of your life? If you will, I believe your latter years can be absolutely wonderful. Keys to joy at any age. Live simply. Give generously. Receive graciously. Stay grateful. PCF. Chapter 1. Learning from Experience, Part 1. There's a beauty and wisdom to experience that cannot be faked. Amy Grant. If I were to ask you to share your life experiences with me, how would the conversation unfold? Would you tell me stories of a happy childhood, recount your dreams and disappointments, or show me photos of your family? Would you reminisce about the challenges you've overcome and the lessons you've learned? Would I hear you speak about your life with gratitude for all that God has done for you? Would I perceive fear or anxiety about the days to come? Or would I hear peace, faith, and positivity in your attitude toward the future? Everyone's life experience is different, and God can use it all. In this chapter and the next one, I'd like to share some of the experiences that have led me to write this book. A long journey begins. I was abused sexually by my father on a regular basis throughout my childhood and teenage years. I am sure that the stress of that experience stole a lot of my energy before I ever had a chance to use it properly. For years, I thought that my being strong and determined got me through those terrible years of abuse, but I now realize it was God who gave me the strength to keep going. I can remember not feeling well at different times throughout my life, beginning at about age 18. I left home as soon as I was legally old enough to do so, and I married at age 18. Interestingly, the same year I began facing challenges with my health. There's no way to characterize my first marriage except to say that it was bad and extremely stressful. On 2 occasions, my husband abandoned me. I also had to deal with his many extramarital affairs, his lack of employment, and his habit of stealing. I soon found myself going to doctors, asking why I did not feel well so much of the time. They tried to tell me that my physical symptoms were stress-related, but I refused to accept stress as a real diagnosis. The reason that any mention of stress, nerves, or an emotional connection to the way I felt physically was unacceptable to me is that my mother had trouble with anxiety throughout her life and finally experienced a nervous breakdown. I thought being susceptible to stress meant that I was weak and could not handle life, and I did not want anyone to view me that way. I now suspect that excessive stress is the culprit behind many health problems. I have personally experienced stress-related health conditions and have known other people who have experienced them too. I will elaborate on the connection between stress and health throughout this book, but for now, let me simply say that the symptoms of many illnesses are real, but their root cause, or at least a strong contributor to many of them, is stress. After getting a divorce at the age of 22, I was alone in the world with my first child. With no one to turn to for help, I lived in a constant state of low-level fear and worry. I could ask my father for help, but I knew that would mean suffering more abuse, so I avoided it as long as I possibly could. I finally did have to move back home for a short period of time, during which I met and married Dave. He was and always has been a patient and loving man, but I was so dysfunctional and my soul was so wounded because of my past that I didn't know how to enjoy Dave or anything else in life. I didn't realize that all the stress I had been through had taken a toll on my